Have you ever looked at a modern car and thought, wow, this thing looks like it came from the future? Big touchscreens, glowing buttons, features that sound like they came out of a sci-fi movie. Yeah, it all looks impressive. But here's the problem no one really talks about. A lot of these so-called smart features are actually killing your car's reliability. I'm not anti-tech. I love innovation when it works. But after digging into what's really happening under the surface, I couldn't ignore it anymore. Features like electronic gear shifters, auto start-stop, and even push-button door handles, they're causing more headaches than convenience breakdowns, expensive repairs, and a ton of frustration for real drivers like you and me. So in this video, I'm breaking down the truth, the stuff automakers really don't want you to know. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll never look at some of these upgrades the same way again. Let's get into it. 1. The illusion of progress. For decades, automakers promised us progress. Less maintenance, smoother performance, and smarter systems. Mechanical parts were slowly replaced with digital ones, all in the name of convenience and innovation. But here's the truth. Complexity doesn't always mean improvement. It often means fragility. The more sensors, software, and systems crammed into your car, the more things there are to break. What used to be a simple fix with a wrench now requires a diagnostic scan, a trip to the dealer, and a fat repair bill. Modern cars might look intelligent, but when something fails, they become helpless, and so do you. Let's kick things off with one of the flashiest examples of this flawed progress, and one of the most dangerous. 2. Electronic gear shifters. Electronic gear shifters were designed to look modern and high-tech, buttons, knobs, and levers that glide with barely a touch. But behind that sleek design is a serious flaw: the loss of mechanical reliability. Traditional shifters gave you a solid tactile connection. These new systems, they rely on sensors and software, and when those fail, which they do, you could be stuck in park, unable to shift. Or worse, your car might roll away without warning. That's not just a theory. Fiat Chrysler had to recall over 1 million vehicles after their electronic shifters caused dozens of injuries and even deaths. It's a chilling reminder that not everything futuristic is safe. And unfortunately, this isn't the only innovation that promised efficiency but delivered disaster. 3. Auto start-stop systems. Auto start-stop systems were marketed as genius fuel-saving tech, cutting the engine at red lights to reduce emissions and save gas. Sounds smart, right? But here's the catch. That constant shutting off and restarting puts a brutal strain on your battery, starter motor, and even your engine's internal timing components. Over time, this eco-friendly feature leads to premature wear and expensive repairs most drivers never saw coming. And if you've ever felt that awkward lag or jerky jolt when the engine kicks back on, you know it's far from smooth. The savings at the pump? Minimal. The long-term cost? Huge. But forget the engine for a second. What happens when your car won't even let you in the door? 4. Push-button door handles. Push-button door handles were meant to look sleek and futuristic. No keyhole, no hassle, just a simple touch to unlock. But here's the problem. No keyhole also means no backup plan. When your car's battery dies, and it will eventually, you're locked out of your own vehicle with no way in. You can't pop the hood, you can't open the trunk, and you're stuck hoping roadside assistance shows up before the rain does. And if the sensor or handle module itself fails, get ready to pay anywhere from $400 just to open your car like you used to with a simple key. High tech, sure. High risk? Absolutely. And the bad news doesn't stop there. Even your tires might be working against you. 5. Run-flat tires. Run-flat tires were sold as a safety upgrade. You can keep driving even after a puncture, but the reality is far less convenient. These tires wear out faster, cost significantly more to replace, and unlike regular tires, they often can't be patched. That means even a small nail can turn into a full tire replacement. And since most cars equipped with run-flats don't include a spare, a complete blowout leaves you stranded with no backup, and a towing bill on the way. It's a trade-off that benefits manufacturers more than drivers. But if you think that's bad, just wait until your high-end roof starts cracking above your head. 6. Panoramic sunroofs. Panoramic sunroofs might look stunning and give your cabin a luxurious open feel, but they come with a long list of hidden problems. These oversized glass panels are notorious for leaking during rain, rattling on rough roads, and even cracking under heat or stress. And because they're bonded directly to the car's frame, repairing or replacing one isn't a simple fix. It can cost over $2,000. Plus, they add extra weight to the roof, reducing your car's structural rigidity and fuel efficiency. So while they look great in the brochure, they're often a ticking time bomb on the road. And if you thought that was frustrating, imagine a day when your car won't even let go of the parking brake. Electronic parking brakes Electronic parking brakes feel like a modern upgrade. Just press a button and you're good to go. But when they glitch, they can become your worst nightmare. One moment you're parked, the next you're stuck because the brake won't release. Or even worse, it locks up while driving. Unlike old-school handbrakes with simple cables you could manually adjust or fix, these electronic systems require a full diagnostic scan and reset, usually at the dealership, with a hefty price tag attached. What used to be a 10-minute fix is now a high-tech headache, and believe it or not, even your gas cap has become a point of failure. 8. Capless fuel systems. Capless fuel systems were supposed to be cleaner, easier, and more convenient. Just stick the nozzle in and pump. But in reality, they're surprisingly fragile. A little dirt, dust, or a slightly torn gasket is all it takes to trigger an evap system error, lighting up your dash with a check engine warning. And unlike the old $8 gas cap you could replace in seconds, fixing this issue usually means replacing the entire filler neck at a cost of $300 or more. It's yet another example of a simple system being over-engineered to the point of failure. And speaking of over-engineered, let's talk about climate controls, if you can even find them. 9. Touchscreen climate control. Touchscreen climate controls might look futuristic, but let's be real, replacing simple knobs with digital menus was a massive mistake. You now have to take your eyes off the road just to adjust the AC or defroster. And if that screen ever freezes or fails, good luck getting any heat or cold air. No screen means no climate control, period. It's not just inconvenient, it's actually dangerous. But it doesn't stop there, because even your grill has secrets. 10. Active grill shutters. Active grill shutters were introduced as a clever way to improve aerodynamics and boost fuel efficiency, closing automatically at high speeds to reduce drag. But in practice, these tiny plastic shutters are notorious for jamming, breaking, or failing altogether. When that happens, your engine's cooling system can go haywire, leading to overheating, reduced performance, and of course, a glowing check engine light. And all of this trouble, just to squeeze out maybe 0.5% in fuel savings. It's a textbook example of technology overcomplicating something that was never broken. Now let's shift focus to the engines themselves, because the smart ones are often the least reliable of all. Cylinder deactivation systems. Cylinder deactivation systems were designed to improve fuel economy by shutting off half the engine when full power isn't needed. Sounds efficient in theory, but in practice, it's been a mechanical disaster. GM's Active Fuel Management (AFM) system is infamous for causing premature lifter failure, collapsed valves, misfires, and in some cases total engine seizure. The constant switching between active and inactive cylinders creates uneven wear, putting enormous stress on internal components that weren't built for that kind of back-and-forth abuse. What was meant to save gas often ends up costing thousands in engine repairs. And if you think that's bad, wait until you realize your power steering could disappear without warning. 12. Electric power steering. No backup. Electric power steering has become the new standard, replacing hydraulic systems with lightweight, energy-efficient motors. But here's the catch. When that motor fails, and it does, there's no mechanical backup. 1 second you're steering with ease, the next you're wrestling the wheel like it's bolted in place. There's no warning, no fallback, just sudden brutal resistance. In older systems, a failing pump would give you some leeway. With electric-only steering, it's an instant safety risk, especially at high speeds. And unfortunately, the tech trouble doesn't stop there, because even your headlights aren't safe from over-engineering. High-tech headlights like matrix LEDs, adaptive beams, and self-leveling systems sound like the future of safer night driving, but they come with a serious downside. These systems rely on sensors and tiny motors that are incredibly prone to failure. A slight misreading, a failed component, or even a gentle bump during a routine bulb change can cause the entire assembly to malfunction. And when they do, you're not just swapping a bulb, you're replacing the whole unit, often for $1,000 or more. It's a painfully expensive lesson in why more tech doesn't always mean better. And speaking of expensive, wait until your key fob turns against you. Start-stop button with no backup key. Push-to-start buttons might feel like a luxury, but without a physical key backup, they turn your car into a high-tech trap. If your key fob dies, which it inevitably will, you're not going anywhere. No way to start the engine, no hidden key slot, nothing. And replacing that dead fob, it's not just a new battery. Most modern systems require a full reprogramming session at the dealership, costing $500 or more. You can't do it yourself, and you can't skip it. One tiny device holds your entire car hostage. And just when you think that's the worst of it, a little rain might reveal your next problem. Your smart wipers can't always tell when to wipe. 15. Rain-sensing wipers. Rain-sensing wipers were supposed to be a hands-free convenience automatically adjusting to the weather so you can focus on the road. But in real-world conditions, they're anything but reliable. Bright sunlight can trick the sensors into activating for no reason, while heavy snow or light drizzle might leave them frozen in place when you need them most. Sometimes they swipe endlessly across a dry windshield. Other times they sit still in a downpour. It's unpredictable, distracting, and honestly, a step backward from the simple manual control that just worked. And speaking of things that should work smoothly, shifting gears is about to get a whole lot rougher. Dual clutch transmissions. Dual clutch transmissions were built for speed, lightning-fast shifts, and race car-like performance. But that performance comes at a price. Without strict routine maintenance, these transmissions are notorious for jerky shifting, overheating, and eventually full clutch failure. They simply don't tolerate neglect the way traditional automatics do. And when they break, you're looking at a repair bill anywhere from $2,000, often with no warning signs before things go south. For a system meant to enhance driving, it ends up punishing anyone who doesn't baby it. And if you thought that was frustrating, just wait until you try to jumpstart your car and realize even the battery terminals are hiding from you. 17. Hidden battery terminals. Pop the hood to jumpstart your car or check the battery, and you might be shocked there's no battery in sight. In many modern vehicles, battery terminals are buried under layers of plastic covers, panels, or tucked beneath the trunk. What used to be a 30-second task now requires tools, time, and YouTube tutorials. And with everything so cramped and hidden, the chances of miswiring something or tripping a fuse go way up. It's complexity for the sake of aesthetics. And when you're stranded, that sleek design won't help you. And speaking of design disasters, just wait until you try changing your oil and realize your filter's gone plastic. 18. Plastic oil pans and drain plugs. In the name of saving weight and boosting fuel economy, many modern cars now come with plastic oil pans and drain plugs. Sounds efficient, right? Until you actually need to do an oil change. These components are fragile. Strip the threads just once, and you're looking at a slow leak, or even a full crack under high heat. And once that plastic warps or wears out, replacement isn't cheap. It's a ticking time bomb disguised as innovation. But if you think that's bad, try checking your transmission fluid. Oh wait, you probably can't. 19. No transmission dipstick. Remember when checking your transmission fluid was as easy as pulling a dipstick? Not anymore. Many modern cars have completely removed the dipstick, claiming the fluid is lifetime. But here's the truth. No fluid lasts forever. When that transmission fluid starts to degrade, and it will, you won't know until it's too late. And by then, you're not just replacing fluid, you're replacing the entire transmission. That's a $5,000 clusson in trust gone wrong. Sure, it might ride like a dream now, but that dream turns into a nightmare the moment things go wrong. 20. Active suspension systems. Active suspension systems promise a buttery smooth ride and sharp handling, but behind that comfort lies a costly trap. These systems rely on electronic sensors, air compressors, and adaptive struts, and when just one of them fails, the entire ride can sag or tilt. Replacing a single corner can easily cost over $1,000, and that's before labor. It's luxury with strings attached. And here's the kicker. If the control system that manages all this fails, your fancy suspension and everything connected to it goes down with it. 21. Integrated infotainment control modules. Today's cars rely on massive integrated infotainment modules that do far more than play music. They control navigation, climate settings, backup cameras, even basic safety features. Sounds efficient until one chip fries or a software glitch hits. Then suddenly, everything goes dark. No AC, no reverse cam, no touchscreen, nothing. It's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. And replacing that single unit, you're looking at $2,500 or more. But the scariest part, even your doors designed to protect you can turn against you, constantly scanning keyless entry. Keyless entry systems sound convenient until you realize they're constantly scanning for a signal, even when your car's off. That drains your battery over time and leaves your car wide open to a high-tech trick called relay theft. Thieves can mimic your fob signal from outside your home and drive away in seconds without ever touching your keys. What was meant to be a modern luxury becomes a security and reliability nightmare. So after all these features, all this complexity, what does it really tell us? Modern cars dazzle us with sleek tech and futuristic features, but behind the touchscreen glow lies a brutal truth. Every flashy upgrade is another opportunity for something to break. Automakers market convenience, but what they're really selling is complexity. And with complexity comes fragility. Reliability takes a back seat to style, and drivers are left footing the repair bill. The truth is simple. simple. In the long run, simplicity is strength. So ask yourself, do you want a car that impresses at the dealership or one that actually survives the years? If you found this eye-opening, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more brutally honest breakdowns about what's really under your hood. Drop a comment below. Which smart feature do you wish your car never had? Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes old school is the smart choice.